What unobvious signs can help you understand that someone is a really good person? Good people are polite even to those they have power over. I used to struggle with insecurity, wondering if I was actually a decent human being. The moment I realized maybe I am good was when people literally fought to get shifts with me after I became a manager, and that's despite me being one of the few who didn't allow slacking off all day. They do kind things without expecting anything in return. And even more importantly, they don't make a big show of it. No posting on Insta, no bragging to friends, just quiet, simple acts of kindness. One of my favorite quotes: "Principles only matter if you stick to them when it's inconvenient." If someone does the right thing, even when it's not profitable, that's a good person. They don't need rule books or outside validation to choose what's best for everyone. Good people are the ones who gently pull you into a conversation, especially if you're an introvert. I once introduced two of my friends. One was learning Unreal Engine, the other worked in film production. They instantly clicked, and I just sat there thinking, yep, this is a story I'll tell someday. They laugh at themselves, like when someone trips on the street and instead of being embarrassed, they laugh along with everyone else, because being human often just means being a bit ridiculous. They pick up trash that isn't theirs and don't make a spectacle out of it, and if they see someone acting like a giant broccoli head toward another person, they step in, always. Back in January, I was diagnosed with cancer. At the time, I had just started dating someone. She went with me to my very first chemo session. I sat there thinking, as soon as the side effects hit, she's gonna bounce. But she stayed, every single time. I made it through treatment, I'm cancer-free now, and in August, we got married. I think I'm a kind person, but my man, he's the real deal. Nearly 50, big, quiet guy, been in construction for over 30 years. He hires subcontractors for specialized work, like painters. He's worked with one particular crew of painters for as long as I can remember. About a week ago, the homeowners threw a holiday party for the construction team, designer, and architect. My guy got a thermos mug and a card with a cash bonus inside. He thanked them and then went to check on the others. Turned out, the main crew got mugs and money, but the 5 painters only got mugs, which is totally fine. The owners aren't obligated to gift anyone. That's usually the company's job. But my man knew these painters. This year, they lost both their boss and the father of one of the guys, two who just started families. They were basically his team. So he took his own bonus, split it among the 5 painters, and wished them a Merry Christmas. They tried to refuse, said they were okay, but in his classic quiet guy way, he just ignored their protests and walked away. No fuss, no need for praise, just a kind man being a good man. A not so obvious way to tell if someone is genuinely a good person, it's when they treat even those who can't give them anything in return with kindness. Over the years, I've met plenty of people who act like total grumpy cucumbers toward anyone they think can't help or hurt them. A good person is the one in the office who actually stops and waits while you tie your shoelaces, or who holds the door open when everyone else has already rushed through. Another example, you say something but get talked over or ignored, and this person makes sure to ask you to repeat it. And honestly, one of the coolest things, when they say nice things about others behind their backs. Gossiping is the easiest thing in the world, but hearing that someone spoke kindly of you when you weren't around, that hits different. There was a lawyer in my city who sometimes leaves $500 tips for delivery drivers. Once, he filmed it, and the video made the local news. Everyone praised him. But then he invited a TV crew to his office so they could film him doing it again during lunch delivery. Sure, the driver was happy with the tip, but do you think he wanted a camera shoved in his face? Doubt it. Feels more like cheap self-promo than kindness. A while back, my friend had a serious injury and ended up in the hospital. After surgery, she came home and her family and friends helped her out. She could barely move. Her whole body and legs were badly hurt. During that time, one of her guy friends, someone I honestly thought was just another background simp character who would vanish until she got hot again, came over while we were there. He just said hi, went straight to the kitchen, cleaned everything up, cooked her favorite meal, packed it neatly, put it in the fridge, told her to eat whenever she felt like it, cleaned up after himself, and left with a simple "see ya." No small talk, no interrupting, no attention seeking, just kindness. When he left, we went to the kitchen and found it spotless. He even washed the pot he cooked in. I think he also tidied the hallway. Maybe he is a simp, but if so, he's the most helpful, low-key simp in history. Honestly, I think he's just awesome. Edit: some people misunderstood my post, so let me clarify. I didn't call him a simp because he cooked her a meal or did something nice. I said that because of his past behavior, he seemed like one. But now I think he's genuinely trying to be a real friend. Why did I even assume he was a simp? Well, my friend is gorgeous. She already has a boyfriend, and she's got a group of guys hovering around her constantly. Our kitchen hero used to come by multiple times a week after work just to hang out, trying to slide into conversations with her even when her boyfriend was right there. Since the other guys were mutual friends, her boyfriend mostly stayed quiet, not wanting to police her friendships. But this dude's behavior felt off. Like he once stole her keys, ran around the house like a teenager until she chased him into her bedroom and they giggled while I sat awkwardly with her boyfriend in the living room. I eventually went in, grabbed the keys, and gave them back. To be fair, she never encouraged that stuff. She's just really naive and gets genuinely surprised whenever someone confesses feelings for her. She'll say things like, "But I already have a boyfriend. How could he think otherwise?" We've had to explain to her more than once that some dudes stick around just hoping to be the breakup tissue. One time, we even had to comfort her for days after an old friend confessed his love, said he couldn't stand watching her be happy with someone else, and cut off all contact. She was heartbroken because she truly thought it was pure friendship without hidden motives. Our kitchen guy also once offered her a massage, and I flat out said, "Pretty sure that's her boyfriend's job." He'd wait and chat for her to log on, binge her favorite shows, just so they could discuss them later, and so on. Most of it was harmless stuff, maybe even well-intentioned, but altogether, it gave me certified simp vibes. Now though, after seeing him quietly cook, clean, and leave without needing recognition, I'm rethinking everything. Maybe he just had boundary issues before, but at his core, he might actually be a genuine good friend, and that's really the point of my story. Good people treat those society calls ugly or overweight as actual people. I'm a big guy myself, and so many times I've been ignored or straight up excluded from conversations just because of my size. And no, I'm not guessing, they've literally said it to my face. But kind people, they always drew me into the conversation, spoke with me personally, even outside the group. They admit when they're wrong or when they don't know something. They are genuinely kind to those weaker than them. Animals sense it immediately. My cat always relaxed around such people, but if he suddenly turned into a total furry gremlin with someone for no reason, surprise, that person later turned out to be a full-on jerk to me. Cats know, man. Cats always know. Good people apologize sincerely when they mess up, and they do it without being asked. They're able to set aside their ego for fairness, and at the same time, they know how to forgive. And again, they do kind things without telling the world about it. Honestly, I'm so tired of those viral social experiments on YouTube where someone helps a stranger but has a buddy recording the whole thing. If I were homeless and someone bought me food only for it to turn out they were filming a wholesome prank, I'd say thanks, but no thanks, dude. They're kind to animals who don't judge us and can't give us anything back. The only reason to treat them well is because you're simply a kind human being. Good people start with a default setting of goodwill. That doesn't mean they're naive. They know the world has clown shows and bad things happen, but they don't assume strangers are out to scam them. They're willing to cut someone some slack if they're being short-tempered. Maybe that person is just having a rough day. Good people don't skip the shopping cart test because the law says so. They do it because leaving carts everywhere is just plain banana peel behavior. Returning to cart is polite. Yes, it makes someone else's job easier. No, there's no punishment if you don't do it, and that's why it's such a great test of social responsibility. Good people take responsibility, apologize when needed, and try to make things right. They're willing to learn from mistakes and evolve. It's easy to be nice when life is good, but a truly kind person stays good even when angry, scared, or stressed. If your morals vanish under pressure, they weren't morals at all. That said, oh boy, as a nurse, I have to push back. People under stress, grief, or fear will sometimes be cranky or snappy. That's human. It doesn't define their whole character. What really matters is how others treat them in those moments. That reveals the depth of their goodness. Someone who's polite to you but rude to the waiter, yeah, that's not a good person. Good people attract other good people, no matter their income or status. That was the first sign my partner was genuinely kind. He was respected at work, and all his friends had solid values. People trusted him with personal stuff, and so did I. We worked together for a year, and the feeling that he was a good person only grew stronger. Now, 8 years later, I know I was right. He's not only a great partner, but also an amazing father. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. What's a not so obvious sign that someone is truly a good person? And don't forget to check out our other videos. See you next time.